What's up, mans? A lot of you guys haven't asked me, hi, hey Sam, how do you make a video? What's all the stuff that you use? How do you do it, bro? Guess what? I'm going to show you that right now, dogs. Okay? So, the first thing that you're going to need if you want to be a sick guitar YouTube video game cover guy is you need an audio interface, okay? This is what I use, okay? It's called a Focusrite Scarlett 18i8. All right? That means 18 means, I think, 18 inputs, outputs. I'm not sure. Here's the deal. It's got 4 inputs with preamp knobbies on each one of them. Oh man, that's just great. Now, let's go to the microphones now. Now you may notice right here that I'm holding up one, but that I'm also bringing up another. That's because I use 2 microphones when I do my recordings. This is very, very important. If I just use one, it doesn't sound that good. If I use 2, it sounds so good. Alright? And you take these mics and you pan them left and right, okay? So it's basically like this, okay? You basically got one mic going into one ear, and you got another mic going into the other ear, and it just makes it just so much better, man. It's like you're there. It's like you're there in the room. It's like you're there in this room with me, okay? These are Rode NT5s, and I have tried one other set of mics that my father got, and I didn't like them as much as these. These are good mics, Rode NT5s, baby. Now, those mics aren't wireless, so you're going to have to plug them in. You're going to have to plug them in with XLR cables, man. So, I have 2 XLR cables here. I like to keep them in a pile of electric spaghetti because it's just funner that way. One is black, one is white. It's like yin-yang, you know? Or it's like an Oreo cookie. Those are delicious. So whenever I look down, I think of Oreo cookies, and that makes me happy, and it makes my recording that much better. The next thing you want, you're going to have some mic stands. You can't just have the mics they don't just float. They obey the rules of gravity, just like you and me, guys. So what you're going to need is some of these mic stands, bro. You take the mics, watch this. It's going to blow your brains out. Look at this. All you got to do, slip it right in there. There you go, baby. I can talk into them, and I can also play guitar into them. Now, what's the next thing you want? You need a computer. My computer's over there, and it's really big, so I'm not going to bring it over here. But you just need a computer, man. Obviously. Let me tell you what else is important, alright? It's important what you're wearing. Because when you're up here and you're recording for hours at a time, and you're getting frustrated, and you're getting hot and spicy, your fingers are getting sweaty, you're not having a good time, every little bit of comfort helps, which is why you want to have a nice, comfortable shirt without buttons on it. This one has buttons on it, so I'll probably have to change this. And then you're also going to want some shorts, baby. You're going to want to wear some shorts, okay? You don't want your pants getting all bunched up in your crotch, you know, getting all hot, sweaty, foldy. You know, you don't want that. You want nice, free, flowing clothing items. It's going to help your recording. It's going to make your music flow a lot better than it would have if you've been wearing long khaki pants. I'm here at the other side of my room. I'm here with the camera further away from me. Don't want to unravel these, okay? You want that sound coiling around the cables a whole bunch. It's going to help with the warmth. Ouch. Ouch. My knee. Go ahead and put that like that. Where's the other mic? They're cylinders. They're shaped a lot like circles. So they'll end up rolling all around your room. Oh, it's already on the thing. What I like to do is I like to use this here. This is a Rock and Sock drum stool. This is great because it's comfortable and it can swivel around like this. So let's say I'm playing a part and I want to stop the recording and have a listen to what's going on. All I got to do is bam. Come over here. You see that? I'm here. I stop the recording and I'm here, right? It only takes a second for me to whip around and be ready to edit. You know what I mean? So that's kind of nice. One of my mic stands has this little gooseneck boy The reason this one doesn't have a gooseneck buoy is because I only have one gooseneck buoy. So what I usually do is I'll take something else to prop this mic up higher so it's level with this one. I'm going to use the box that I got my headphones in. Now, it is a little bit tricky getting these mics set up when you have a big mess of cords like this, like a big knot, but it kind of makes it more fun, honestly, because you have to worry about like balancing the mic stands. The cords get taut and they pull on the mics, so they'll fall over sometimes, and that's really fun. So as you can see, I try to get these mics kind of like ear distance apart. I don't know if that I don't know if it really matters, but I kind of think of it like that, like to have the most accurate representation of what's being played. You know, might as well have the mics where your ears would be in the room, and then, you know, panned to either side, like I already mentioned. Now I've used this for a long time now. It's this little A-frame thing right here instead of a footstool. It's very convenient, and once you go A-frame, you don't go back, because what you can do is set it like that, and look at, I can put my legs anywhere. I can put my legs anywhere. It doesn't matter, because with a footstool, I have to put it in one spot, right? And it's all cumbersome, and it's like takes up space on the floor. This way, dude, I'm nimble as heck. I kind of think about having one of them facing right about where my 12th fret is. The mic's about a foot away from me. I might actually do a little bit more, a little bit further away. The closer it is to the guitar, the more you hear like the sort of like the fingernail sound on the strings. Kind of, it sounds more like, I don't know, like the fidelity is almost higher. You can hear all the little finger sounds and stuff like that. So you don't want it too close, but you don't want it too far away. So this is about a foot and a half, right? And I make sure that I don't have the sound hole pointed at the mic, because that's where you get like all the boominess from the guitar. You get this kind of like muffly, like low end sound, which is like not ideal. So what I'm doing is I'm actually angling my guitar. So this is like me, this is the guitar facing straight at the mic. So I angle the guitar a little bit. So it's like so it's going to the right of the mic. It's like I'm shooting the sound to the right of the mic, but the mic is pointed right about where the 12th fret is. The other one, I kind of don't really care quite as much. I almost have this other one just kind of shooting off into the distance. Like, this is just kind of going sort of at the neck of the guitar. It's right around where like the 5th fret is. Sometimes I have it pointed more that way. I don't really know what to do with it. I don't know what I'm doing. Dude, the whippersnapping windscreen came off. It's so funny the way it just popped off like that. So this is like kind of what it looks like from my perspective. I got my foot down there. I got my chords. Got the mics. Got 2 of them. There's my guitar. So yeah, the mic kind of pointed right around, well, right around where the 12th fret is, ish, to the guitar. And the guitar, not straight at the mic, but angled a bit, okay? Angled a bit, bro. And then this one's just kind of doing whatever, it's just kind of doing whatever the hell it wants to do. So I'm here at my workstation, right? This is where all the magic happens, so to speak. So you're going to need a DAW, which is like a program to record audio into. Think of a DAW as like you're a painter, right? And the DAW is your canvas upon which you paint with sounds. Alright, so I use this program called Studio One, and I just love it. It's my favorite one, specifically because you can do this. That's why. That's why I like this program. So what I'll do is I'll open up the last project I did, and as you can see, it's Cass and Shadow of the Three. What that means, it's like the 3rd time I saved this, and it has Cass's theme and the Shadow of the Colossus in it, both of them. All right, so what I do is I want to take the settings of this file and make a new blank, give myself a blank slate, baby. So then we're going to go save to new folder. We're going to call it, we're going to make a new folder, dog. We're going to call this puppy, we're going to call it, what am I recording? I'm recording Last of Us, and Near. Or is it N-E-I-R? It's N-I-E-R. Perfect. Last of Us and Near. Alright, so I pop it in there. I save, right? And so it's going to copy all the files over, baby, right? But now what I do, I select everything, delete it. I go over here, I select everything, delete it. And this is only going to delete the new ones that I copied over. So look at now, I'm blank and I'm clear, I'm blank and I'm free and I'm ready to go. Before we get ripping, we got to make sure that puppy's in tune. So I use this cool little app called PianoTuner on my phone. It's a great tuning app. You should get it too. What I like to do is make sure my guitar is right in tune. Alright? I know a lot of people, they try to make it not right in tune, but me, Sam Griff, I keep my stuff, all my strings, all 6, in perfect tune, baby. And actually, I think I'm going to try, I don't know if I should try The Last of Us. Should I do The Last of Us tune or the Near tune first? I don't know. The Last of Us one is definitely harder, so I could do that one first and be like, okay, just get that one over with. Or the Near one is definitely more chill, and maybe if I did the Near one first, it would be sort of like a warm-up, and then I'd be ready to play The Last of Us tune. But I think I kind of just want to get the Last of Us tune over with, so screw it, let's just do that one first. That one's in a very strange tuning. So I'm in E, this is in G, the A string tuned down to a G, and then everything else is the same. Oh, dog, I'm ready to start shredding. I'm not, okay? Because what we have to do now is get the levels. Levels just means getting the mic preamp set to a proper level, so that like I'm getting enough volume out of them, but not so much that they're going to clip when I play the loudest part of the song. Now I'm going to have the preamps like pretty low for this, because the loudest part of the Last of Us tune is right at the end and it gets all crazy. So honestly, it's probably these. You know what? I can feel my button clicking on my guitar, so I'm gonna change my shirt. Back in black, baby. I could just look at the DAW and see the levels themselves, or this interface is pretty cool because it has a, as you can see, this little green ring right here. Now, if I clip it, see it gets orange and then red. So I'll just make sure I'm not smacking it to red. So this is about as loud as I'll play. About there. So get it so that's not clipping. Okay, now I'll do the same thing with this one. I can kind of eyeball it, make it pretty similar to the other one. This mic's a little closer to me, so it's gonna clip easier. Good. Now that's pretty good. And the way I tell if I try to keep the levels as even as possible, even though it doesn't really matter. And what I'll do for that is I'll just play a chord and watch which one of these rings disappears first. And then I'll crank that volume up just a tad. Oh, now it's clipping. Yeah, I think I got to turn them both down a tiny bit. Okay, I think we're good level-wise. Now, it's time to actually record, baby. I get myself all mentally pumped up, right? I'm like, dog, like, ooh, I'm about to sit here for like an hour plus and get super mad and frustrated, and my hands are going to get tired. But you know what? It's all worth it, dog, because at the end of the day, I'm going to get a sick recording. You know what I'm saying? So with songs that are harder, I give myself a little bit more liberty. So like, this Last of Us tune is really difficult, and I'm on like a really strict sort of time budget right now. I don't have much time to do it. I have to get it done. I have to edit it. I would love a whole month to practice this thing, but I just don't have that. So the way it's going to end up being is, as I'm recording it, I'm not trying to get one big long take. I'm just trying to get every single section good. And I'll make note of that. So if I play the beginning, I mess up, I make a mistake, I'll start over. Let's say I get a really good take right there, I might go like this. I make a clap. And you'll see that on the DAW, there'll be a big spike. Once I have every section good, I'll show you guys how I actually go about editing everything and tricking the world into making them think that I'm really, really good at guitar. I'm not getting this harmonic loud enough. That's kind of more what I want right there. So I messed up there. Messed up. So I got one of these. One of those was good. Now that's not enough. I wouldn't settle for just the one. So I want to at least get, like, I'll show you. I'll at least try to get this much good. So right there, that wasn't good enough. But if I would have gotten that good enough, I would mark that in my head. I'd go like this into the mics, and then I would move on. And I would perhaps come back to this over and over again. In fact, a lot of times I'll just do the same section over and over again and wait until I feel like I've gotten like maybe 3 or 4 good takes of it. None of that was good enough. And as you can see, this can take a very, very long time. Can't get them clean. This section is really, really difficult. Okay, done recording The Last of Us. Holy crap, that was a ridiculous session. Just to give you an idea, the entire session, it took me two and a half hours of recorded music to get it all. And the piece is what? 2 to 3 minutes. So I'll go through all of that 2.5 hours, and I'll find the best chunks of music from every little section. This one was particularly hard. This is actually one of the hardest things I've ever recorded. And I wasn't really ready to do it, but I have to get it out before the month ends. 2.5 hours is a lot. Usually it'll take anywhere from a half an hour to an hour of recording time, and then I'll be done. But this thing was freaking ridiculous. To give you a comparison, I did the Nier song also, and that took me about 45 minutes of recording time, and that one's like fairly typical. I was able to do like longer chunks, made less mistakes. This Last of Us one was a real bastard. Okay, so I'll show you this stage of the process really quick. I've already got a bit of this thing edited, but I still have a lot to do. So I'll show you what I'm working with. So these are all randomly assorted clips of each different section of the piece. Each different line represents a different section of the piece, and each one of these little nuggets they're basically just little audio slices of things that I thought were good, things that I thought were worth saving within that 2.5 hours of music. So I'll show you what I mean. So these are all clips pertaining to this section, right? So they're all over the place. If I go down here and I listen to some of these, this is when I start to actually hit the guitar. And from all of these little tiny clips, I'll mess with them, I'll shuffle them around, and I'll figure out what works for a big arrangement of the entire thing. So this is what I got so far. I've got all this stuff. As you can see, this is how my files actually end up looking. It's not just one. As much as I'd like to say that everything I do is just one big, clean, perfect take, it's not. Some of them are, but that's rare. Some of the beginning ones were. Now I just learned them too fast. I can't get them good enough to actually do a full, big, long take, and this way is a lot less stressful. I mean, dude, this is like 2 hours of music that I recorded the other night. And that was just that's how long it took me to get each section good, playing each section over and over again. So you can imagine how long it would take if I tried to actually, do a full take good of this. It would be ridiculous. And some of these tunes are harder than others, and I want to be as open about that as possible because I want you guys to know that, like, this stuff is pretty difficult. I mean, for me, it's difficult. So these are all stitched together. You can see all the little crossfades. These little things. Makes them sound nice and smooth. You can't even tell there's cuts there. That's the secret. Bam. Didn't even know. You didn't even know, did you? So what I'll do, I'm working on the next section, right? So what I'll do is I'll go down, I'll find the section I'm working on. I think it's right here. It's when I start beating the shit out of my guitar. Take this, minimize that, maximize this, just to show you that that's what I'm working on. In fact, I'm going to bring these up, just so it's right up against what I'm using. Find an actual beginning part of this section so I can start moving left to right like in a linear way. These are all in it. So as you can see, I'm messing it up like crazy on this part. It was really hard for me. Basically, I do that for the entire section. That's how I edit. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that. I'm going to edit this entire piece and then get back to you when I'm all done. So I'm at the point now where I've completely edited the entire Last of Us tune. And this is what it looks like. So each one of these is a separate clip of me playing, and I went through all the audio and I figured out which ones I like the most. Just to give you an idea, this one is like really, really intense. As far as the amount of cuts I do, I don't usually do this many cuts. But the song was really, really hard, and I was like getting really close to the end of the month, so I was trying to get it done. So I went really intense with it. To give you an idea, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, City 1, City 2, City 3, City 4. Okay, so listen, when you listen to the Last of Us tune that I did, you are listening to 64 freaking separate clips that are all edited together. Some of these actually kind of don't count because I just ended up cutting up the audio, but I used a bigger clip. But just to give you an idea of how hard this song was for me, that's how many times I'm cutting within here. So this is heavily edited, just so you know. I want to show you guys now the way I process the audio. So I got 2 tracks, right? I got a left, pan to the left, and a right, panned all the way to the right. Now this is really important. If I make it mono, you could really hear a difference. It doesn't sound nearly as good. It sounds like nice and wide and encompassing when you have them panned left and right like that. As far as the channel itself, so I basically have these 2 channels are going into a bus, okay? And then that bus is right here, or that bus is right here. So I've got some EQing going on right there. I bring the low end out, and very, very minimal EQ. If you get a really good mic set up and everything, you don't need to go too crazy with the EQ. And I'm just subtracting some frequencies. And then I come over here, and then there's another EQ. This one's blank. This is in case I need to like go in and edit something specifically on a tune by tune basis. This crap right here, I leave it. I don't mess with this at all. And I've probably the last like 5 or so videos I've had the exact same EQ. Now these are really important. I got these iZotope Ozone plugins. So what this is doing here is right here. Basically, what this does is it takes the signal and it takes certain bands, EQ bands of the signal, and pushes them out to the sides. So if I take this band, this is like the really, really high kind of sparkly sounds, you know, the nail and the air and everything. And I drag this all the way up. Those sounds will get louder, and it will feel like they're more like over here in your ears. A lot of times people take the bass frequency and they center it. This is more in like bigger production stuff, like electronic stuff. What I like to do, my favorite way of making it sound sweet and juicy, actually I've found, is to not use an exciter, but to use this imager and push up this frequency band, which is from 144 hertz to 2K. And I don't know, that's just what I like. And I got that pretty cranked. And then down here, I also have this harmonic exciter. And this is great. This makes it just sound really clear, like high fidelity, kind of crispy in your ear. And this is a specific preset, actually. It's Add Sparkle Mid-Side. This one's freaking sick, man. I really like this one. I put it on literally everything. It's great. Then over here, or actually I'll talk about the EQ or the verb first. So now I also have these tracks going to another bus, which is a verb, and this is a Lexicon concert hall reverb thing that I like quite a bit. It's been my favorite one I've used so far. Smack a little pre-delay on there. So there's that. I got my reverb. But the most important thing about the reverb is after it, I've got some EQ on the reverb itself. So this being scooped out right here really sort of helps the I don't know. It's like you can really, really hear this reverb. It's very obvious that you have a lot of reverb on if this is brought up. Especially if you're doing things like hitting the guitar, like it'll kind of go tss. It'll have that sort of sound. So bringing this down will temper that, and then bringing it down like the really, really low stuff on the reverb, which you don't really need. So really the reverb is just mostly centered on this area right here. If you're hitting the guitar, usually it's the spikes from that are like right around here. So that's why I bring those down. And it just sounds better overall. It gives it like a nice smooth sound. And then on the master channel, all I have is things to bump up the volume. These things that are off, anything that's off, I'm not using. The reason you see a whole bunch of channels here also is because that's how I organize everything for all the editing and stuff. But they're useless. It only needs to be these two tracks, the bus, the verb, and then the master. Now here I've got a mix tool. Basically, this is just a way of bumping the volume up as a set amount if something's really quiet. And then I use this iZotope Ozone Maximizer, and this thing is sick. Basically, what I do is I want to find the loudest section of the song and make it so this maximizer is correcting for about, I don't know, like 4 to 7 decibels of signal. So as you can see right down here, look at that hit really hard. That hit at 7. So basically what this is doing is it's raising the entire level up, basically like a limiter. Basically it raises the entire level up, and then any peaks that are fed into it, it pushes the signal downwards. And you can see on this line up here, anytime it pushes the signal downwards, it goes, whoosh, there's like a little thing that goes down. And this is pretty good, because it's not going, there's no rule of thumb really. It's like, really all of this comes down to how it actually sounds to you. So if you're making it louder and louder and louder, and you get to a point where it's like, oh, that's starting to sound kind of weird, then that's when you back off. But really, ultimately, it's just a matter of what your ear tells you. And with this one, I have it pretty smashed, and I don't notice any difference really, not really, in the really, really loud sections. Now, ironically, well, maybe not ironically. No, I'd say ironically. The quieter songs that I have on my channel tend to be the loudest ones because the signal is more even. The more even the signal is, the more you can push everything up, and the peaks will be, the same relative. With this one, the piece is relatively quiet compared to the final section, so I can only bring it up as loud as that really loud section is starts to sound weird depending on how much I crank this maximizer thing. But this thing is awesome. So now the other thing, the final thing, is actually panning everything to the left and right. So really I'm just using the volume sliders on the left and the right channels, and I'm just messing with them. And it's really hard, man. If I have headphones on, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but or have a weird sort of ear mental thing, but I hear things to the left a little bit. So if something's perfectly centered and I put headphones on, I will actually sort of hear it. I'll hear as though it's mostly to the left side. This should not be touch. This should be read. Hopefully that didn't jack anything up. Okay, no, we're good. We're good, baby. So what I have to do is I click this button right here. This will put it into mono. So if I put it into mono, I know for sure that if I close my eyes, put it into mono, okay, this is where the center should be. So, and to me, it feels like it's a little bit to the left for me. So if I put it into mono and it feels like it's a little bit to the left, then I know when I take it out of mono, it should stay perceptually in that same spot. And so I'll go on and off of mono. I'll take the headphones, I'll flip them over. This has been like a sort of a thing I've struggled with for a long time. I don't know a really solid way of doing it. Because in the headphones, it might feel like it's perfectly center. I listen to it in the speakers, and it might feel like it's shifted to the right or the left. So really, I just kind of mess with it for a while, and then kind of try to get a healthy compromise of all listening sources for making it feel like it's equally in the left or right. So yeah, that's that. Then what I do is I just export that baby, dude. Oh, actually, no. Before I do that, there's one thing that I have to do in preparation for actually recording the video. What I'll do is I will, if there's long sections where if the rhythm isn't very apparent and the downbeats aren't very obvious, like say like the Hyperlight Drifter tune, that's very, very floaty. There are times where, I'll play a chord, it'll be a long pause, and then I'll play another chord. Recording a video to that stuff is really hard because you have to okay, when's the chord coming? Bam! Oh, I missed it. Then the video is basically useless and I have to redo it. So what I like to do is this. So I'll get my mics. Get my mics here. Got my mic. Put it right over here. I'll activate some channels here, and I will figure out the tempo of the piece. I always do this in the beginning of the piece because, there's nothing, and then all of a sudden there is a note that I'm playing. So how do I know when to play that note? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about there, right? So I'll go like this. I'll press record. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And then I'll take these claps here, and that's going to be like my count off, and I'll line it up so it works. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, basically I'm right into it, right at the end of 4. And if there's more of these, say like later on in the piece, I'll just do it again. So some of these, when you're watching the video of me playing, I'm actually listening to the song on my phone, and there might be claps like all over the place with it. Little like the Hyperlight Drifter one, there was claps everywhere. Like every so often there was like boom, boom. Then I played the chord, but I already did all that. So at this point, I'll just export everything. Frickin' shortcuts, baby. I will export an MP3 for the Patreon page. I'll export a FLAC for the Patreon. I'll export a WAV to put in the video, and that's what I use, in the Adobe Premiere timeline, and that's that. Then I got all my files. Now the MP3, I also make an MP3 with the claps in it, and I send that to myself, like on Gmail. I just send myself an email, and then I'll have it on my phone, and then I take it downstairs, and I'll show you what happens after I take it downstairs. Hey man! Okay, we're here down in the downstairs room. This is usually where I record all the videos, except the camera's usually facing that way. So it's like a brand new perspective on things, So what do you need, man? Okay, first of all, I got this Google Home, which I use on Bluetooth mode, and it allows me to, I connect my phone to it, and it bumps that volume real nice and loud so I can hear it while I'm trying to lip sync on my guitar. And then we got some dang lights, right? So what is this, dude? What's this concoction? Well, I looked up a tutorial on YouTube one time, and it's like a PVC lighting rig, right? It's like pipes, and connectors and whatnot. It's pretty rough. It's got a little clamp holding the work light on, And then this is just like one of them CFL lights right in there, bright white. And then this is some frickin' wax paper with a little clip to sort of diffuse the light a little bit. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done. I think eventually I might want to get one of those big ass lights, but yeah, that's how it works. Okay, now I'll show you where I sit. Okay, so there's the light pointing at my throne, baby. I'm ready to go, right? So I got it connected via Bluetooth. I'll have my phone right here. And what I'll do is, I usually throw it on the floor or whatever. But right now I'll just put it right there. And I press play. I'll press play, and this is what it'll be like, okay? So I'm playing through the piece. I mess up. I go back. I go, oh crap, I messed up. Go back. A second go, baby. There's always second chances. So basically what I'm trying to do here when I'm recording the video is I'm trying to be aware of the fact that I don't have to actually make it sound good. I just have to make it look like I'm playing the right notes, and for the most part, I'm really just more worried about the rhythms. So as long as I'm playing the things at the right time, then even if I make mistakes while I'm playing on the video, you can't tell. Nobody can tell. And I'll just keep doing that until I get a good take. So I'll do the camera right here in front of me. And then once I get a good one of those, I'll come over here, I'll put the camera right over here, and then it will be, I got that good angle of it coming down the neck. And usually that takes about a half an hour, depending. I try to get just good. I'll keep on recording again and again until I feel like I've got a full good take, just so I don't have to do as much editing later on upstairs. It actually takes less time to do a few more tries down here and get a good one than it does to actually edit together a bunch of crappy tries upstairs. And it's more monotonous to do that up there. I'd rather be down here playing guitar. You know what I'm saying, dog? Okay. I actually already finished this one. This is the Last of Us one. Really, it's a matter of just taking clips, right? So I'll actually show you over here. So I'll take some clips, baby, right? Here's a clip, right? Here's a clip of me playing. I'll take that boy. Say I start around here, I start it, and I end here. I'm just going to do this real quick. Slap it over here. I'll also grab the wave file that I bounced earlier and slap that down. And the first thing I have to do is actually match the clips up. So literally I hold on Alt and press the arrow keys back and forth until they're all lined up, right? So what I'll do, here I'll show you, I think I can actually do it with this one. I'll listen on this one to see where it starts. 3, 4, boom. Okay, I'll stop. So basically right around here is when the song starts. Now I can fine tune it. Boom. That's good. Oh look, I messed up. But let's say I kept going. I just take this clip and I take it all the way out, and that'll be, me playing along to it. It'll be all matched up. I'll do the exact same thing with the other angles. So I'll take, let's see here. This is me playing the near stuff. Oh, by the way, usually I've been doing 2 videos at a time, like the recordings and the videos at once, and it's pretty helpful. It only takes maybe 30% extra work versus doing 2 completely separate things, because a lot of the time you spend is just setting things up. Okay, so I got this, right? Where you at? Where you at, dog? Where you at, doggy? Oh crap, no, this is not what I want. I want an angle, baby. What am I doing? I'm being stupid. I'm being straight dumb. Find an angle. Oh, I did the Last of Us angle last. Right, and then I recorded my stupid face. But then again, you know, I'll just slap that right down. Boom. I got those angles. Then I just decided, oh, okay, so I'm watching the video. It's looking good. And then, oh, this would be a good place to have an angle. So I'll slap this clip right. Well, actually, first I'll sync this up, right? I'll sync this entire clip the same way I did the other one. So this will be like just set like that. Boom. Just set like that. Obviously, this is, you know, this is not the right clip because it's not even as long as the song is. Usually I'll have, you know, a clip going from here to here, then a clip going from here to here. You know, me playing it from the medium angle and me playing it from the close angle. And then I'll just go, oh, here's a good spot for this clip. So go boom, boom like that. And then, I know this is very rough, but I'll go to opacity. Because for some reason, Adobe Premiere, when I do exports, it does not like the crossfades in the effects window. And it's super annoying because it'll like, you'll see even on some of my earlier videos, the crossfades will like do this jump thing where it doesn't feel like they're going smooth. It's like tremendously annoying, and the only way I figured out how to work around that is to use keyframes and opacity. So I'll go like this, bam, go to the first one, make this be 0, and then, oh, did I do the wrong clip? Oh yeah, so this 0, oh crap, ha, when numlock isn't on, there we go. So now, right, you get me? So I just do that throughout the entire video, and then after I get that all edited, I do a little bit of post-processing on the video itself, like the actual, I put some, what am I even trying to say here? I do some color correction. So I use this fast color corrector, slap it on there. Now watch what a big difference this crap makes. So you mess with the input levels, and the first thing I do is I take this slider, and basically it takes anything that's dark and it pushes it to black, right? It takes the dark stuff and it makes it darker, and then if I take this inwards, it'll take the light stuff and make it lighter. So if I go like this, boom, that's a lot of contrast. Let's say I want the video to be like really pop a lot and be colorful. Take the saturation, jack it up, boom. So look at the difference between that and crud. That and that. Look at that. Boom. And that takes like 3 seconds for me to do, right? So then I'll take that, I'll copy it, and I'll put it on every single clip in the timeline. And then that's almost the end. But the last thing I need to do, and I know you guys know what I'm going to say, that end slate, dog. I have to make a sick end slate. So, how do I go about doing that? Well, I'll take the camera and I'll put it right in my face, and then I'll, well, I can't have glasses on because that makes a lot of glare, but I'll literally, you know, like try to think of something funny to say, and so I think about it like this. I have to say something stupid and funny, just because I like to, and people seem to like it, and I also need to mention the tabs, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is just kind of me jacking around. So like, what would I say? What would I say for the Last of Us thing? Sometimes I just don't even think of anything. Then I'll just be like, "Hey dogs, you wanna play you wanna be the first one to play the Last of Us theme song on your guitar? That's great because there's tabs over at my Patreon page. You could learn to play it just like me, Sam Griff. That's what I'm called. Check it out, baby. Special thanks to all my patrons. You guys are the best. Bye." So there we go. Usually I'll do like 20 of those, and then I'll have all these clips built up, and I'll slap them into the timeline, and I'll just listen to all of them, or I'll watch all of them. And the one that I like the most, I'll just go with that one. And that's a really nice way of doing it, especially with like if you're trying to be funny, if you're trying to do some like entertaining stuff. It's nice to do a bunch of different takes, because it's kind of hard to tell when you're actually doing it. But afterwards, there's usually clearly like 3 or 4 of them out of the 20 that are the best. And then I tend to try to do a shorter one versus a longer one, because ultimately the goal is like to get people to go to the Patreon page and pick the tabs up and all that stuff. So if I feel like if I make them too long, first of all, on YouTube you can only have the the end slate element, which sends you to the Patreon page. You can only have that on the screen for, I believe it's 25 seconds. I think it's 25. I'm pretty sure it's not 15. It's either 15 or 25. I think it's 25. If I have an end slate that's 40 seconds long, that element can't even come on the screen until 15, 20 seconds into the actual end slate, or into the little outro section. At which point, most people have probably clicked away from it. But to be honest, I mean, I also quite enjoy doing the stupid, silly little outros. I've always liked doing funny, stupid videos. In fact, I used to do that with my friends. We used to make skateboard videos and stuff, and we do little skits, things like that. This is way back in the day, like the early 2000s. But this is kind of like my way of tapping into a little bit of that. I've always thought about doing some kind of stupid comedic YouTube channel, and who knows, I might someday. But these end slates, they feel good. I like them. I gotta be real with you, alright? When I'm editing videos, what gets me through, my edit fuel, if you will, are these Pop Chips. Crazy hot chips, baby. They're amazing. And special life hack that I learned probably about 1.5 years ago. Chopsticks for chips. You know why? Because if you put your fingers in there, got all that delicious dust on your tips, when you touch your mouse, that's a bad situation. We don't want that. Alright? And to balance it out, a green smoothie. This has got raw eggs in it. It's hardcore. Alright. Like a piece of fuzz on my face.
Hey dogs.
What is that? What is that? Like
you want to play
piece
the
of
last,
fuzz or
you
something?
Be the first one to play the Last of Us theme song on your guitar. That's great.
No, I don't. We're good.
You guys are the best. Bye.
So that's good. That works. Usually I'll have, like I said, I'll have 20 of these clips, and I'll listen to all of them, and I'll decide which one I like the most. But you know what? That's good enough. And the rest of this stuff,
ultimately the goal is...
That's going to be for the making of video that I'm doing right now, man. Wow. How meta is that? Dude, we're getting incepted. Fully incepted. Okay, so now to see some real life editing in action. You want to find the end of that vid. Yo, oh, I got it muted. Okay, where do I want to go? Boom, right there. At least right there. This one has a really long tail. And so what I'll usually do here, I'll cut these off. You can only actually see this one because this one's on top. And I'll take this and I'll slide it right up on there. But I still have the audio playing from the track, so it'll be like this.
Hey dogs, you wanna play the last? You wanna be the first one to play the?
Look at that, beautiful. The next thing we have to do is put the end slate screen underneath the video, like so. And so now that it's underneath there, what I have to do is I have to resize this video. And what I'll do is, actually, I just realized I gotta scroll that back a little bit. What we gotta do is bust over here to the the presets, baby, and then I'll go sized, okay? Boom, look at that. Sized perfectly, just like that. Presets, dog. They're amazing. And then what I'll also do is I'll take the end of this. Maybe right there, I'll actually start making it small, right? Oh, you shut your dang face. That's Steve. what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end it a little bit sooner, right about like that. Okay, and I'm gonna take this one, and I'm gonna say sized, right. But then I'm gonna come over here and make it so it goes to that size over time. Come over here and mess with this motion, and actually no, I don't want to do that. I want to. Oh no, it did it. Look at that. Gorgeous. No. Oh, went way too fast, bro. Way too fast. That works. And then this one, I will get rid of the first keyframes. What the heck's going on? The heck's going on here, man? There we go. There we go. That's good. That's what we want.
Hey, dogs.
I like that. I like the guitar noise kind of fading right there, baby. That's nice.
The best. Bye.
Okay, cool. That works. That's good for that. And the last thing that we need to do is we need to make the rolling text from the list of patrons. You know, $10 plus patties. So what I'll do is I already have this totally set up.
Hey, dogs.
And we're gonna have this start scrolling as soon as, bam, as soon as right there, as soon as this rectangle is clear of my shrinking video here, like that, and that will keep on scrolling. It looks like until
the best. Bye.
The end of the vid. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, what I do literally is I'll go on the Patreon page and I'll make like an Excel spreadsheet file, and I'll take all the names. I'll put it in Notepad. I'll format them specifically. Now these are all I didn't like pick these names, although a couple of them I do edit because they're too long. But this is like what a lot of people have actually just put in. This one, the Connor, I don't know who the Connor is, but they didn't leave a name, so I just grabbed it from their email. Complete with all that juicy formatting that people use, man. You know, freaking caps and all that. I'm too lazy to go in and change that stuff. I'd have to do it every time. No thanks, bro. So really, that's the whole thing, man. I got a fade on that, and all I got to do is go in, select the in point right there, and then go to the very end, and I'll select an out point right there. I've already watched through the video, so I know it's good. I know I like all the cuts. So let's just make sure the end transition is good.
Hey, dogs. You wanna play the last? You wanna be the first one to play the Last of Us theme song?
Cool. I like that. And then let's do just a real quick fast color corrector on this boy. Kind of make it pop a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Not too much of that. That looks pretty good. That looks.
Learn to play it just like me.
That's just
Sam
fine.
Griff.
God, I'm an idiot. That's fine though. Could put some color on my face. And that's it, man. That's the whole dang thing. That's making a video. I do make a thumbnail and everything. Maybe I'll save that for another little mini video or something. But yeah, that's the whole process. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you didn't, you know, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry you didn't like it as much as you know, I'd like you to like it. But you're your own person. I'm my own person. We like the things we like, and you know, that's fine. I respect if you didn't like this video. But yeah, man. This was fun. I hope to do more vids like this, you know, things similar to this. But until next time, guys. Stay cool.